Well, I'm at Humber Park here in the San Jacinto Wilderness, and I'm just waiting for Gerry. He should be here in a few minutes, about 10 minutes, I guess. Tahquitz Peak, it's right on the other side of Lily Rock, which is right here, and across the valley on the other side is Suicide Rock. So we're going to be heading up this trail here. It's called the Double Slide Trail, and we're going to work our way up to the top of the junction up there at Saddle Junction. We're going to hang a right and head over to Tahquitz Peak. Hopefully the snow won't be too bad. It's a little chilly. It's registering about 43 on my thermometer, but it feels a lot colder than that. There's a pretty good breeze coming down the mountain here, and it's a little chilly. So once we get hiking, we'll warm up, and I'm sure all these layers will come off. Well, I got Tahquitz Rock behind me here over my right shoulder, and it's a famous rock climbing destination for people that want to get away from the boulders of Joshua Tree in the hot summer months. Because of the elevation, 6,000 feet at the base, it's a lot cooler here than it is over in Joshua Tree. And well, this is Suicide Rock on the other side of Strawberry Valley. This is another famous rock climbing spot. There's also a trail that goes to the top of it. You park off the Deer Springs Trail off of the highway down there, and it's about a 7-mile round trip hike to the top of Suicide Rock. Obviously, you gotta kind of be careful as you work your way to the far west end, southwest corner. There's a significant drop, so there is a trail that goes to the top. One day maybe we'll be up there. Well, this is the head of Strawberry Valley ahead of us here. Double Slide Trail goes to the right and works its way up this notch, pretty much straight ahead. The trail's going to continue on this right side of Strawberry Valley and switch back up to Saddle Junction at the top. Well, we've hiked only a short ways. Looks like less than a mile. I've already had to ditch the little thin jacket I was wearing, the beanie and the gloves. Starting to heat up too quick. Wind's picked up as well. As we get higher up, we're going to notice it. Got Suicide Rock behind me on this side, and Tahquitz Rock over here on this side behind me. As we're working our way up toward Saddle Junction, in just this short time, we've already gained over 900 feet just in this less than a mile. Well, we've hit our first patch of snow along the trail here. We're at about 7,300 feet. It looks like there's a drainage or a stream that's flowing downhill here at some points during the year and worked its way down. Well, we're not too far from the top of Saddle Junction here, and over my shoulder you can see Suicide Rock and the view looking off to the northwest. This one little patch right here, the sun's come out and it's actually pretty warm. Just crossed a couple more patches of snow back there, and it's rock solid consolidated snow and ice, so hopefully we won't hit too many patches like that as we work our way up to Tahquitz. Well, we've worked our way up the Double Slide Trail. We're only about a quarter mile from Saddle Junction, and we came upon this rock formation here with a patch of snow, and it's sitting in the sun. Let's go check this out. Something went running down in the bushes down there. I wasn't sure what it was. It's pretty big, whatever it was. He's caught the tail end of it. Let's go inside here. Well, we finally reached Saddle Junction. All the signs are ahead of us here. This is a 5-way trail split. So there's a bunch of different trails going 5 different directions like spokes on a wheel. So Chinquapin Flats and Tahquitz Peak to the right. And over here it says Tahquitz Valley, Reeds Meadows, Laws, and Carumba down that way. And then straight ahead is another sign that says Skunk Cabbage and the Willow Creek Long Valley Trail, and yet there's another one over there. It says Round Valley and San Jacinto Peak, so that's why they call it the Saddle. It's a great spot to take a break. There is no camping here, which is kind of a bummer, because this would be the ideal location for it. So we're going to take a few minutes here, get caught up on our hydration, get a few snacks, and then we're going to take the furthest trail to the right, heading toward Tahquitz Peak. It's not too far from here. Well, we're taking a break here at Saddle Junction. Kind of well deserved. The first 2.5 miles coming up this trail are pretty steep. Most of your elevation gain is up to this point. From here, heading toward Tahquitz Peak, it looks like it's less than 1,000 feet of gain. We've already done 2,500 or maybe a little more than that. So it might be a little easier from here on out, and it'll be probably a little more scenic. We're going to be going through the forest too. We see some patches of snow, but from what we've heard, we're able to walk around them. But we're going to take a few minutes here, eat some beef jerky. I just had a power gel, get caught up on our hydration, and we're going to head on up to Tahquitz. Well, it looks like the snow is getting a little deeper here on this side of the mountain. You can see where people have been walking. There's a pretty good path worn through it, but hopefully later this afternoon this snow will loosen up a little bit and it won't be quite so icy. Right now it's frozen pretty solid. Hopefully we won't have any significant runouts or any exposure as we work our way up the Tahquitz. Well, we've just left Saddle Junction back there, and we're working our way along the sunny and shaded parts of the trail going to Tahquitz Peak up here. Tahquitz Rock is over off to our right. We're actually above it now. It's also known as Lily Rock. That's the rock climbing destination. Tahquitz Peak is farther to the south, and that's where the fire tower is. The last couple times I was up there, it was boarded up and it wasn't manned, but from what I've heard, they've done some restoration work on it and they're starting to man it now during the summer months. It's still early spring, so I don't know if it'll be manned at this point. My guess is it'll still be boarded up, but when we get to the top, we should get a tremendous view overlooking the Garner Valley area and another view, I guess it's north toward Mount San Jacinto. Lots of ground squirrels running around. Well, this is a view toward Tahquitz. We can see it up there on top of the summit, right above all that snow and ice, and our view that looks down valley towards Strawberry Valley. The wind's blowing pretty good up here. It feels good. I think once we get a little higher up, though, that's going to turn to a chill, or maybe a half hour from the summit. We've come to an overlook. Pretty windy up here. The wind's ripping up the canyon. We're above the cloud layer now. We can barely make out Saddleback Mountain, Santiago Peak off in the distance. But as we work our way up the slope, we can see the Tahquitz Fire Tower right at the very tip top. So somehow we got to work our way from the left up that slope up to Tahquitz. Well, we've reached the junction up from Saddle Junction. The trail continues down this way toward Tahquitz Valley and over toward Red Tahquitz. Behind me up here in the sun is Tahquitz Peak and the fire tower, which is our destination for today. The concern we have is it's all snowed and iced up right now. We don't have crampons or ice axes. I see some footprints going up there, but hopefully we'll be able to pick our way through. It's only a quarter of a mile to the top, so it'd be a shame to come all this way and not be able to get to the top. Oh, we're having a tough go here. Doesn't look like much, but it's really steep, and there's some pretty good consolidated patches of snow that are iced up. I'm trying to work my way from patch to patch, but there's also some pretty big post holes. I've sunk down to my knees a couple of times. I had a little bit of snow on my boot. If we weren't so close to the summit, I'd stop and take off my pack, put on my gaiters, but I might wear them on the way down. We'll see. Well, that's what we're dealing with. Looks much better. Such a short spot here that I could just do that, but maybe we'll work our way around this way. This is tiring. We can see the top. Nothing but blue sky over here. Of course, we don't know if it goes up afterward. Could very well be a false summit. I guess we'll find out in a minute. All right, we're just to the left of Tahquitz Peak. We had to work our way up a steep slope. We actually couldn't stay on the Tahquitz trail because it was too snowed and iced up. We got a tremendous view looking down toward Lake Hemet, Thomas Mountain. There's Coahuila Mountain in the background. Palomar's back over that way. As you work your way around to the right, we're above the cloud layer. And right over there is Tahquitz Peak. You can't see the fire towers on the other side. We don't know if we can even get to it from there. We're gonna try to see if we can work our way over across that spiny ridge. If there's a path, we'll find it. So we just crossed the PCT marker and crossed one snow patch after another, but it looks like now we're back on the trail. Tahquitz Meadows. It's not bad when it's dry, but kind of sucks crossing that snow. We're probably an hour from Saddle Junction, another hour from the car. So we'll probably be back around 4:30, I take it. Well, we've come a couple miles down from the Pacific Crest Trail and the Tahquitz Trail. We've come up to this sign here, which is PCT and Tahquitz Meadow. So we're gonna head down to the Tahquitz Meadow area and head back down toward the valley and Saddle Junction. Just make a giant loop today around the Tahquitz Meadow, and from there we're gonna head back down the Devil Slide Trail back to the car. It's been a good day. It's been a tiring day. A little bit of a letdown. We didn't get to Tahquitz, and now it looks like we're not going to get to Red Tahquitz because it's a good 800-900 feet above us, all on the northeast slopes, and it's covered in snow and ice. And it's already 2 o'clock, so even if we were to make it up there, we'd be up there probably around dark at the rate we're going right now. So we're going to make a nice big full loop, call it a day. A great view of the meadow here as we're coming out of the snow. when we finally reached Saddle Junction again, we made the loop all the way around Tahquitz Meadow, down the PCT, back to the Tahquitz Meadow Trail through Laws Camp and Corumba, and came back up this way. It's about 3:15, and it's cooling off a little bit. Clouds are coming in, a little bit of high-level clouds, and we're going to take about 15 minutes here at the Saddle Junction, and we're going to head down the Devil's Slide Trail back to the car. It's been a good day. I'm tired though. Taking the trail up to the top of Tahquitz, that peak to the left of it, kind of took the wind out of our sails. We were post-holing pretty good in the snow, and we're tired. Well, we're working our way back down the Devil's Slide Trail. We've gone down below the level of Suicide Rock, and we're getting there. A little tired. You know, it was kind of funny. We didn't run into one single person from the time we got to the junction, all the way up toward Tahquitz, all the way up to that peak to the left of Tahquitz, all the way down the PCT, and all the way down through Tahquitz Meadows, then all the way back up to the junction, and even most of the way down from the Devil's Slide Trail. We didn't see anybody. Over the last half mile, we saw another father and son just going up for a quick day hike to Saddle Junction, and we saw another couple, like a boyfriend and girlfriend. They were heading up for a little short day hike, but that's it. It's been dead up here today. We haven't seen any wildlife either, other than hearing a woodpecker and seen a whole bunch of tree squirrels. Haven't really seen much of any wildlife. Didn't see any deer at all. No snakes, thankfully. We were a little worried after the trip reports said there were 2 of them. But it was also kind of chilly today. It was in the low 60s, high 50s with a cool breeze, and I think maybe the snakes decided it was too cold for them. I had a feeling that, you know, we might see one laying across the trail in the sun or something trying to warm up, but nothing. We're probably, I imagine, a mile from the car. We'll be back down here in a minute.